Hey guys, I'm sorry I've not posted in a wee while. I've just been really busy with college work and I was at a networking event on Thursday, so I've been pretty busy. But I did vlog while I was at the networking event, so that's what I've brought home to you guys. I'm actually not very well today, feel a bit under the weather, but don't worry, you won't catch anything. It can't technologically be transmitted. Yeah, it's Born to Be Wide. It's more a social thing rather than a networking thing, but you know, I got a couple of business cards out and you know, I might get in touch with some of the people. Yeah, they were interviewing a man called Kevin Williams who, yeah, he's like been a politician and activist, a bit of a rebel really, but he was talking about how he sustained and attained his audience and his followers. There was people from Creative Scotland and people who own their own blogs and magazines and companies, and yeah, I've vlogged a little bit of the conversation that happened on stage, so yeah, this is my vlog about that. Please enjoy the video.
Yeah, exactly. You can call me whatever.
Standing as an MP and MSP, wasn't it? Both. Opening a marijuana cafe in Edinburgh that closed down a few hours later. And,
funnily enough.
I thought I'd get that in straight away and just live up to my reputation. And then more recently, and this is something that a lot of the younger members of the audience might know you for, set up Noi Riki, which combines pretty much all kind of audio art forms, I could say, anything that involves speaking or music. Film as well, Kevin?
Everything. Animation, visual art, we put the whole lot into the mix.
Kevin actually got off his sickbed today to come and do it. That's why he's well wrapped up. The first time that anyone's ever had a lemsip in the green room.
Rock and roll, eh?
And that's probably, you know, I think it's all this healthy living you've been doing recently. So, yeah, Kevin, tell us, how did it all start?
God, what a fucking question. I suppose we're Rebel Inc, you mean?
Well, you came down here from Caithness originally.
Yeah, I came down in 1979. For the next 10 years in Edinburgh, I just fucked about on the dole, reading books, listening to music, working cash in hand jobs, just been, you know, accumulating all the stuff that you'd use later.
And after 10 years, did you have a moment where you decided you wanted to have a job after all, or?
No, fuck, dragged into it, got married and I had to, ended up on a mortgage, fuck. But at that time, I self-trained myself in writing, and I got a little bit of help from different writers like Duncan MacLean, and via Duncan, James Kelman. You know, the teachings were passed on, put it that way, and you kind of learnt to write and edit. So I ended up like having a bit of a brass neck. I ended up teaching journalism without having any qualifications in it whatsoever. But some of the journalists went on to work for TV stations and that. It was a community newspaper, with just learning your chops basically as an editor for a couple of years before I set up Rebel Inc.
So had you had stuff published before you started training people in journalism?
Yeah, I wrote stuff for like the occasional music magazine, or you know, Evening News, or little bits in the List, things like that. Back in the late 90s. I hope nobody digs on it now. They were fucking awful.
And what happened to you? You find yourself as an editor training people What happened to the newspaper? What was it called?
It was called the Tollcross Times. It was a community newspaper which I edited for 2 years, from 1990 to 1992. It was funded by the council, and it was basically, you know, lots of pictures of happy children. But what I did to try and make it my own imprint was I put a really hard-hitting political front page to it, and I did all the community stuff. So I kept running these front pages telling people not to pay their poll tax. But when you're funded by the poll tax, it's quite... Council never really took kindly to this at all. Like, so, you know, they basically took the funding out of the newspaper, closed it down, and with the 3 weeks redundancy I pumped it all in to pay for the first edition of Rebel Ink #1.
So, do we have some?
Paid for by the poll tax by asking not to pay your poll tax. So that's when it started, and that was 1992. But you know that thing where you set something up, but you're not setting up as an individual. You're talking about how you make a scene. And what I was doing at the time was I was tuned into a lot of writers in Edinburgh. Started off with Duncan MacLean. There was Gordon Legg. There was James Meek. None of these people had published books at this point, apart from Gordon Legg had. James Meek had his first book coming out, and there's a number of other writers like Alan Warner, Laura Howard, Irvin Welsh, who hadn't had any books out but were submitting stuff at that time. So I kind of gathered them all together, Rebel Ink. I felt like they needed something in the middle of all this.
Right, Helena, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay, I do quite a lot. So I am a blogger at a blog called Podcart. I run press and the label at Block, the venue, and Block Music, the label. And I am part of the core team of a female collective called TYCI.
And what does TYCI do?
Oh God. So we run live events every month. We do a zine, we do podcasts, radio, we run a blog, world peace, everything.
Great, and this is the fanzine here, is it?
Is,
it
yeah.
all the same issue?
No, this is our latest issue, but we've got about 20 something now, I think.
Wow, so is this all the same one? This is the current one?
This is the latest one.
Should we hand some out? Is that okay?
I would encourage that.
Okay, well I'm going to keep one for myself. I'm sure everyone on the panel's going to want one, and then we'll circulate the rest amongst the audience. So please help yourself. This is the advantage of being down the front. You get first dibs on the fanzine. So Kevin, quick roundup of Noi Riki.
It's a monthly event of poetry, music, animation, film, visual arts, last Friday of the month.
Perfect. Martin, your microphone there.
Martin Flynn, I'm co-founder and label manager at Lucky Me Records. And that's about it.
What else does Lucky Me do?
We release music, we run events, and also we do a lot of like design and art, sort of video stuff for people as well.
Janine.
Hello, I run Creative Edinburgh, which is a network of creatives. They work across different creative art forms at different stages in their creative life, and we do sort of networking events, a bit of professional development and mentoring, and lots of kind of digital resources and kind of connecting people.
So while you're talking, what made you want to set up Creative Edinburgh? What is the inspiration behind it?
A wee bit of a long story, but when I did fine art in Dundee, and when I came back to Edinburgh, I was kind of doing a lot of interning and kind of trying to figure out what the art scene was like in Edinburgh. And I found it quite difficult. I'm not actually naturally quite a gregarious, chatty type person, so I used to slink into things quite a lot and be like, who do I speak to? So there was a wee bit of a build-up to getting to the Creative Edinburgh part, which we wanted to create a place or events or a kind of platform for people to feel really included and comfortable at any stage in their creative career, whether they're starting out or maybe they've been doing what they do for a long time but maybe need some kind of inspiration or something new. So it's kind of from that. I don't know if that answered the question, but
Yes.
yeah.
Very good. Answers it. What about you, Martin? How did Lucky Me start? And what made you begin with it?
I think, like a lot of people, just wanting to do something that is like representative of what you're into, and coming from where we come from, it's not you're fitting into what other people are doing, and just being motivated to want to start something that better represented the things we were into, and the things we wanted to do, or places you wanted to go, and
So what
music
were
wanted to
you?
hear.
How did it start?
Into rap music, skateboarding, lots of dance music, electronic things, lots of different things, and just like you said, trying to present more what your tastes are rather than what other people's tastes are, and just trying to be a part of that.
So was it you and a bunch of mates that got together then, just hired out or a small venue and got other people along?
Yeah, so the sort of original incarnation of Lucky Me was at the old Stereo in Glasgow, and it was like sort of open mic hip hop DJ related night with myself. I mean, a lot of people, different people involved in it, of course, from the time. My friend Dominic, who we still do everything for the label with just now, friend Ross, who's Hudson Mohawk, who's on Warp and doing amazing things now, and our friend Mike Slot as well, who again, another amazing musician who's doing lots of good stuff.
And how many people came along to the first night?
I mean, that place was like 100 capacity, and I don't know if it was full the first time, definitely. And it grew and got bigger and bigger, and, became, people started hitting us up to come and do shows there and things like that, and it definitely got a bit of a buzz about what we were doing at the time.
And Kevin, you mentioned that that Noiriki came together because you'd been approached by Michael, and that you did have that balance of the two. I mean, what was it that really kind of excited you about wanting to go ahead with the night?
It was partly, it's always been in the right place at the right time, and it was partly because I was really into Edinburgh music. The music scene here. I think it's 2009. I was doing my own radio show. I think I was on Born to Be Wide. I was doing this kind of radio show that was getting streamed, and just looking at all the music and getting totally into the scene, and it just seemed like the right time to do things, because there's a new wave of writers coming through, mostly in Glasgow. There's a really strong Glasgow scene, and they had some really good clubs there in Glasgow as well, Discombobulate and stuff like that, and it made sense to try and do something in Edinburgh. So I always feel that Edinburgh culturally, it's never apparent just how good it is compared to Glasgow, but it is. And it just needs more outlets, and now I think it's really good because there's a lot of good outlets just now, but there wasn't anything like that in Edinburgh at the time, and it needed something like that.
I think that's quite interesting because it's going to be something that we come back to soon, but it is the point of something which you want to happen or that doesn't exist yet, that you create something because you want it to happen. And I mean, that's what motivated us to set up Born to Be Wide almost 12 years ago, because we were tired of whenever there was something that was a launch or that seemed to be bringing together Scotland's music community, it was always in Glasgow. And we at that point thought, all right, everyone in Glasgow must know each other, and we should really have something in Edinburgh where everyone knows each other or that can bring everyone together. And what actually happened was when we started going to Glasgow more, we realised that everyone didn't really know each other, but quite a lot of people were coming through here to come to Born to Be Wide because there wasn't anything like that in the West. And it's the same with Wide Days. The convention we run is, again, it's something that is happening here and is bringing together, quite a disparate bunch of musicians and people involved in music. Helena, I guess you wear so many different hats, but I think it is probably something that hasn't existed before in Glasgow was what you started or co-started with TYCI, and maybe you could talk us through how that came into being and how you went about it.
So I music blogged for for 2 years before a lady called Lauren Maybury, who does quite well now in a certain band, and she approached me and said, could you help me with this collective? So I got on board, and I was very much from a music background, but she had this vision that she wanted it to be a platform for females, I suppose, because there wasn't really anything that was like that. So she obviously wanted it to be welcoming to everyone. I have to stress that it's not just for females. It's you know, I think when people hear the word feminism, as we've discussed earlier, it's like, oh shit, I'm going to burn my bra, and you know, I'm going to man bash as much as possible, I'm going to get my vagina out, but that's bullshit, by the way. It's like, it's not like that at all. It's just, you want to be recognised as much as a man or a male is. So it's, I think how rich it was culturally across Scotland, we just needed to expose that, and we then started, we approached Sub City, so Sub City started us off, which I have to say Sub City is one of the best, I suppose Lucky Me would agree, it's like, Sub City is one of the best kind of organic platforms for anyone wanting to do a radio show. So we did that, we started our own podcast, and then the zine kind of came a bit later, but the live shows were one of the first things that we did. We started off in Block in Glasgow. So Block is 7 nights a week, free music, well, free entry I should say. Everyone gets paid a fee, everyone gets a rider, everyone gets fed, which is pretty admirable in terms of live music. And so therefore we had a lot of kind of touring bands, and it pretty much just kind of, it's been a whirlwind over the last, our 3rd birthday is in November, and we did Sleater Kinney's after show, we've done bands like Girlpool who are kind of really coming through the ranks, we've put on artists that are just incredible female artists, and it's not just solo female artists, it's like there's either half the band is female, or there's a front woman, or something like that, and it's I don't know, it's more of a community, I suppose, than anything else.
And when you started out, I mean, did you find you had to go knocking on people's doors, or you know, hitting them over the head with it a bit to get them to support what you were doing, or even just to come along to the events?
Yes and no. I mean, with women, it was great. It was like, you know, I'm really up for this. I think, as I said earlier, the feminazi word, it's unfortunately, I'm pretty mad feminist. I listen to gangster rap, and so it's one of those things that I just kind of, I wasn't, it taught me a lot as a woman, I suppose, as well. But we kind of, the other thing was, because we have so many different avenues of where we go, there was always something for someone to tap into. So once they tapped into that initial thing that they were kind of interested in, they kind of discovered that there was a whole lot more to what we did. And I think the overall experience in being part of something that was kind of really exciting and new kind of really enticed them. And that it just kind of went from there.
So what that means, someone could pick up the fanzine and go, I like this article, and then they'll see an advert for the next night that you're doing.
Yeah, on the back cover, not advertising, but the back cover, like, we always advertise our next show. There's always something in there for everyone. It challenges people's opinions as well. I mean, there's even the articles in there that sometimes I disagree with, or I have a strong opinion about, and I think that's one of the most important things is that we're not just, we were talking about this earlier, you have to kind of be a free thinker, I think the term that you used is, and you have to kind of accept, you know, that everyone is different, and that's the beauty of being within a music community, is that you learn so much from everyone, and I suppose you kind of find the path that you want to go on.